You alright lads, this is the Jolly Jedi here, your man for all things Newcastle United, and today, the Manchester City preview. I've heard betting odds of about 4 to 1, maybe even 8 to 1. Check out the True Geordie's video, Premier League preview video for those odds. He has much more information than me, he even has the link. I'll leave a link in the description below for his video, so go to it. He'll give you much more information than me on that. I should point out 4 to 1 or even 8 to 1, but we'll focus on 4 to 1 isn't actually bad odds when you consider how much Sky loves to make the gap between Newcastle United and Manchester City team. Or well, really Newcastle United and any of the top teams, they love to say where we have so little quality compared to them. Personally, I disagree. Obviously, I don't think there's as big a gap. I do think there's a sizable gap still, but it's mainly down to Mike Ashley's lack of investment rather than the club. Well, as far as club goes, I think it's the best club in the country, but I think we just have a very poor board. Well, basically investor really, Mike Ashley. But anyways, I'll move on. That's a conversation for a different day, perhaps. Manchester City just lost Community Shield to Arsenal. I think it was more due to Arsenal playing well rather than Manchester City playing crap. I mean, they did play pretty bad, but it was more of a test. The whole thing was more of a testament to Arsenal being good rather than you being crap. So, for our match, you've lost. As I think you've got a couple of players injured. Sorry, I don't know, a little bit tongue-tied. Players injured. You've got Aguero's injured. I think so is Zabaleta, among one or two others. But basically, Aguero and Zabaleta are your main ones that you're probably going to miss. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword for Newcastle. You see, the Community Shield and also your injuries have proven that you are vulnerable and that we probably can win. However, are we going to get the Manchester City that's vulnerable, or are we going to get the Manchester City that's out to prove a point? That because they've lost to Arsenal does not mean they're not going to win the Premier League. Which one do we get? Personally, I'm hoping for the vulnerable one, but you know, I'm a Newcastle fan. I'm obviously going to be biased as hell towards Newcastle. Then on the other side of things, Newcastle's on top of the world right now. Not literally, but you know, we've strengthened, not in depth so much. We have got one or two players to increase depth, but we've changed in quality. We lose Johan Kabay, so we'll bring in Sam De Jong as his sort of like for like replacement, if you know what I mean. We've lost Hatem Ben Arfa, sort of. As far as Pardew's concerned, we've lost Hatem Ben Arfa. He didn't even get a place in the reserves against Spennymoor. Maybe that was due to rest. Personally, I think it's bullshit. He deserves to be at least on the bench for me. But anyways, we've lost Hatem Ben Arfa as far as Pardew is concerned, so we'll bring in Remy Cabella. We'll lose Dan Gosling, so we'll bring in Jack Kovac. We'll lose the Macam Slayer, Shola Amiobi, so we'll bring in Emmanuel Riviere. So as you can see, we've brought in Eos Perez, and we've also got the two Nottingham Forest youngsters. Not to increase depth so much for this season, but maybe for next. But basically, see my point. Emmanuel Riviere is better than Amiobi. I'd say Sam De Jong's probably better consistently than Hatem Ben Arfa. So you see my point. We've grown in quality. We've lost a player, so we've put a better one in to make up for it. Good. Bloody hell, this is what Newcastle fans want to see. We want to see some real investment. Now don't get me wrong, we haven't invested like Arsenal. We haven't spent 40 million for a player. We're never going to do that, under Mike Ashley at least. Personally, I'd love to see a 40 million player in, but Mike Ashley's not going to do it. But we've grown in quality. So we'll have quite a contrast for this match. On Newcastle, sorry, on True Geordie's channel, on that video, I've looked through comments, and actually there's quite a few Manchester City fans that are not as confident as they would have been because they've lost Aguero and Zabaleta, and we've become stronger. they're not as confident as they would have been had it been the reverse, if you know what I mean. If Manchester City were exactly the way they ended the season on, and we were exactly the way they ended the season on. So, the question is, can we do it? Personally, I think Newcastle were an incredibly frustrating team to follow, because we always, well, especially right now, we can beat anybody we want. We can beat Barcelona if we want. The problem is that we can't. Well, okay, maybe Barcelona was a bit of a push, but what I mean is we can beat any Premier League team we want so long as we're having a good day. The problem is that it doesn't seem to happen as often as it should. When you have the players that we have, we deserve to be in the top 6 consistently. But the problem is right when we need our team to perform, they don't. Right when we need them to beat Manchester City, like in January, if we beat Manchester City, there was even a possibility that Johan Cabaye might not have left. Because if you beat Manchester City and you're effectively fighting for Champions League, why would Johan Cabaye leave basically to go on the bench at PSG? Maybe wishful thinking on that thought, but you know. So as you can imagine, I absolutely adore Newcastle United, but very frustrating team, because right when we need them, they're not there. But personally, unbelievable to win. A draw would be a draw would be fantastic. And to be honest, a draw is not out of our reach. When we went up against Manchester City in the Capital One Cup last year, we took them to a 0-0 draw until extra time, where they got 2, I'd say, fluke goals. It was more due to us being tired and them having a little bit more stamina and a bit more luck. So the thing is, we can draw against Manchester City. Yes, Wilbur. Personally, I think yes. I think we have a very good chance of getting a draw. But the one thing I don't want to see, and this is the same as the True Geordie, I do not want to see us being humiliated. Not 4-0 again. We can't have it. I mean, that 2-0 match back in January, we weren't humiliated then because we were fucked over by the ref. But that 4-0 defeat, that was humiliating. That's the one thing I don't want to see. If we lose 2-1, or if we lose due to extenuating circumstances like injuries or the ref being on more Man City side, I don't mind. Okay, you know, shit happens. There's not, but when it's in our own hands, no, I don't want to see it. So, I'll finish up there. This will be my second video on Thursday. If you want, you can, as I say, you can check out my channel. I do gameplay videos, FIFA, and I'm doing Infamous at the very moment. At this very moment, I'm doing Infamous. But I've already released a video today, so I'm going to release a second one. So, for all my subscribers, and also potential future subscribers, as of this video, there won't be a video tomorrow just because I've released 2 today. I like to keep it a video a day or the equivalent of. So if ever I'm late, I'll add 2 videos on. If ever I'm early, I won't do a video the next day. Basically, that's the way I work. I like to keep things ordered. Speaking of subscribers, recently my subscribers have taken a bit of an upturn, partly thanks to these Newcastle videos, so I'd like to thank you all. Well, we haven't hit 100 subscribers, you know, I'm not getting over. I'm nowhere near getting carried away with myself, but I'd like to thank you. For all my current subscribers, thank you. You have really helped my channel to push along a bit. And then, on one more matter, for all my subscribers, future, present, well, not so much past, hopefully, but basically, if ever you want to unsubscribe to me, what I'd like is to do is I'd like you to tell us why. I'm new at this. I want to make my channel the best it can be, but I'm inexperienced. So if there's ever any problems, if there's ever anything you want me to do, if there's anything you ever want me to change, tell me first so I can change it. I'd prefer you not to just unsubscribe before I have a chance to change, to be better. So don't break up with me. I'm sorry. Sorry, I just got carried away with myself. Anyways, basically, you know, if you're gonna unsubscribe, let us know first. I'd rather you let us have a chance to be better than to lose any subscribers. Each one of you matter to us. So this has been the Geordie Jedi. Leave a like if you can, it really helps. Subscribe if you want. I know I've pretty much already covered that, but you know, may the force be with you.